My Shopify app Kaching Bundles is currently making me 4.5 million a year, and we spend almost $0 on marketing.
How does this guy make over $4 million a year without spending thousands of dollars on marketing? Well, the answer is something you probably wouldn't expect.
All of our growth is coming either from or
Erikas started his journey as a designer making just $2 an hour. Then he stumbled onto an opportunity that would change his life forever.
I think there's still a lot of opportunity building in platforms, and I'm personally researching.
I spent over an hour talking to Erikas about all his different Shopify apps and how anybody can start building these things from scratch. And good news, he shared everything, including how to find platform-specific ideas to build, how to run an async team with 90% margin, and the unique marketing strategy that helped him grow to $4.5 million a year in just 2 years. All right, let's get into it. I'm Pat Walls, and this is Starter Story. Welcome, Erikas. Welcome to the channel. Tell me about who you are and what business that you built.
Hi guys, so my name is Erikas. I'm from Lithuania originally, currently living in Paris, and I'm a designer turned entrepreneur, building Shopify apps together with my co-founder. And we're currently at 4.5 million annual recurring revenue. What's really cool about our business is that we're 90% profitable.
Okay, if you could give me a little bit of a breakdown of apps that you built.
So currently we have 5 apps in total. Our first app in the discount category was Kaching Bundles, and we scaled it to around 400K monthly recurring revenue currently. Then we launched Kaching Post-Purchase Upsell. After that, we launched Kaching Pop-Up Upsell. And right now, a few weeks ago, we launched Kaching Card Drawer Upsell. All of these apps are in the discount category, serving customers that want to increase their average order value within Shopify. Since our launch in 2022 August, we already made more than 400 million in additional revenue for all of the merchants that are using our apps.
That's awesome. In building these businesses, what have you learned? What is the big opportunity on building apps on platforms?
The thing I noticed about the app developers is that there's like solo developers, indie hackers, and I thought that they lack great user experience. All of their apps are kind of technical and a bit complex for regular users. And the other type of apps was VC backed or like huge corporations. The user experience was great. But the problem about them was that they actually move pretty slow. If there's a feature lacking, it would take probably months or maybe even a year to launch something new. So that's how I kind of knew that there is an opportunity for me to be in that ecosystem and to try to beat all of those solid developers. I wasn't sure that I will be able to compete with bigger companies backed by VCs and so on, but like a year or 2 years after doing Shopify apps, I realized that it's possible to compete with them as well.
Okay, let's go a bit into your backstory here. What did you do before entrepreneurship and what got you into building stuff?
Yeah, so right after finishing my school, I joined the local web design agency and I started working for $2 per hour. Since day one, I was always thinking, how can I 10x my earnings? And I realized that if I want to earn more, I have to work like for myself. I have to start freelancing. So that's what I did in 2016 or 2015, I guess. 3 to 4 years later, while I was still freelancing, I was building products on the side. I had a client, a startup, who needed a landing page. So what I was doing, I was just browsing the internet and looking for inspiration. And that's how I stumbled upon Shopify partners page. I bookmarked it, and later on when I looked into it, I saw a section which said that top 25% Shopify app developers are making almost 300K a year. And in my eyes, it was like, oh my God, it's huge, because what I was making with my freelance work was much less. Having all of the experience in Shopify, I knew how those apps were, and that's how I realized that I have to build something myself in the ecosystem.
Cool. Okay. The Shopify app opportunity. How did you find this idea? And generally, how do you think about finding ideas?
When I was thinking of what do I want to build in the Shopify app marketplace, I already had 3 main criteria. So first one was it has to be pretty easy to build. I have to build it in like a couple of months, no more than that. The second criteria was pretty broad market. I wanted to build something that could be useful for any Shopify store because it would be a lot easier to market it, and I could use all of my clients that use Shopify and so on. The third criteria was I needed low competition. So that's my main setup, how I differentiate good ideas versus bad ideas.
Nice. So on the topic of good ideas and bad ideas, let's talk about validation. How do you know when your idea is validated, and what does that look like for your apps before?
Before building it, I tried to validate it with basically talking to users. I joined various Discord communities of dropshippers. I joined e-commerce Facebook groups. I posted various Facebook posts in those groups, and one of the posts where I had a screenshot of my not yet published app. It was just a design, and it kind of blew up. There was more than 100 likes and a lot of comments asking, where can I download this app, because they thought that it's already live. So that was my first validation that this product is needed, and yeah, it could be successful. If you can build a landing page or something to try get the emails of your customers, that's great. If you can even charge for it, maybe make a pre-order or something, that's even better, because you already know that people will pay money for it.
All right, I gotta stop you real quick and zoom out. Erikas built an insane business, $4 million a year on top of the Shopify App Store without spending any money on ads. And that's maybe the secret, building on top of a marketplace. You don't need a big audience, you don't need to spend money on ads, and there's a built-in customer base just waiting for you to solve their problems. The only problem with that is that Shopify's developer ecosystem is, I'll admit, pretty mature. In other words, that means there's a good amount of competition on the platform. So that begs the question, what's the next Shopify? What's the under-the-radar marketplace where I think developers should be building right now? Well, one place I think is interesting is the Monday.com marketplace. We partnered with them on this video because they're putting real energy behind expanding the marketplace, investing in the platform, supporting developers, and actively looking for more builders to help meet their growing customer demand. Now is the time to get in early and make your mark while it's still easier to stand out. They've got over 245,000 customers across over 200 industries, and 90% of their enterprise customers use Monday.com apps. Enterprise. That's the big bucks. What's also cool is they have good APIs, clean docs, solid SDKs, and a team dedicated to helping you grow and make money. If this tickles your fancy, well, with Monday.com, we put together this free download, breaking down a bunch of stats about the opportunity here, who their users are, and what kind of problems they really need solved. And here's a pro tip. Take some of that info and plug it into your favorite LLM, and I bet it will give you some really cool ideas for what to build. If you want to download, just click the first link in the description, fill out the quick form, and sign up for your developer account. It's all 100% free to get started. I'm stoked that we got to partner with Monday.com in this video because Erikas is an example of what happens when you build on a marketplace. All right, let's get back to the interview. You're a designer, not a developer. How do you go about actually building these products? What's your process to go from 0 to 1 with a new idea?
Yeah, so when I'm designing things, the first thing I look into is competitors. If there's already competitors in space, that's a good thing because you can dig into deeper and see how they do. Like, see their user experience, just go through it, and I'm taking notes what I really like about it and what I dislike about it. And after that, I have a clear image of how my app could look like so that I could fairly say that it's objectively better than my competitors. And to make my chance for success higher, I have to find a co-founder. I think finding a co-founder is pretty much similar to doing sales because you have to sell someone an idea that you can make a successful business and you just need their help. That's what I was trying to do. I went into a local developer group in Facebook. I made a huge post, and I mentioned that, first of all, I have Shopify experience. Second, I'm a great designer with years of experience, so I can provide a great user experience, which will increase our chance for success. Third, I have all of those clients already using Shopify, which we can sell our Shopify app to. And with all of those things, I think I'm increasing my chance for finding a right fit. And that's basically how I found my co-founder.
Let's go to the next section here. I want to talk about marketing. How do you go from Shopify app to real users and real paying customers?
When you are just a new app, you have 0 users, you have nothing, you're right at the bottom of the App Store listings. So I knew that we need to onboard as many users as we can manually. So yeah, I just went to all of the communities. I just went to all of my clients, all of my friends that are using Shopify, and asked them to install our app and try it for themselves. I made the app free, and this way you can get more installs. And of course, more installs then convert to more reviews. And of course, it drives more revenue then. And it helps, to improve your product further because you get all of this feedback.
Okay. I want to dive into some of the dirty details about this reviews thing, because I think that it's simple. It sounds simple, but it's actually genius. So let's go a little bit deeper into the customer support and review strategy that really did change your business.
Yeah, so once we said that it's crucial for us to get those 5-star reviews, we optimized all of our processes towards it. So first of all, our product. Within our product, you straight away, we just ask for Then we have all of these monthly emails. So every month we're sending a monthly email in which we show how much revenue this app brought to you. And in that email, we also ask for review. I think around 95% of our reviews for our apps come from customer support. Our customer support is top notch. All of our customer support agents are really technical, so they can dig into your code and fix things. And yeah, we provide 24/7 customer support right now.
Nice. And now that you have a team, you realize still how important this is. And I realize that you have like a little bit of a system where you gamified reviews. Can you talk more about that?
So recently I introduced a gamified bonus system to our customer support team. And right now we're tracking who gets more reviews. We have the monthly leaderboard, and we have all of these different raffles. And actually my favorite bonus is a persuader of the month. And what we do is we basically calculate the conversion rate of how many times you ask for a review and how many reviews you get. And I think it really helps those agents bring more reviews, and of course incentivizes them because they get bonuses for each review.
Cool. Okay, well, let's dive a little bit into monetization, pricing, and conversion. How did you make the first dollar with caching apps, and how did you get those first users?
When we got our initial reviews, when we started ranking for specific keywords, that's when we introduced our monetization. We introduced a subscription model. Later on, we introduced some tiers. So like the more you use our product, the higher price you pay.
Nice. And is there a kind of a strategy that you think about now every time you go to launch a new app?
I always launch it for free because it reduces friction of installs. And as soon as I start getting organic installs, I grandfather all of the users that already using our app so that they wouldn't need to pay. And I monetize only the new users. And yeah, we always offer free trial. That also helps. And we offer full refunds, no question asked, because I think the risk of getting 1-star review is just too big.
That was awesome. Next question is, let's talk about tech stack. What kind of tools or languages do you use to build and run this business?
Yeah, so languages wise, I will not tell much because I'm not technical. But in our organization, we primarily use Slack for our communication. Then for our customer support, we use Intercom. Then we use features.vote for gathering feature suggestions. So every user can go to that board and suggest a feature or just upvote for other features that they think that we need to implement. Another tool that we're using is Linear. So we use it internally for our task management. Last but not least, we use Mantle. You have everything Shopify related there. You can set up affiliate partnerships. You can see all of the metrics, all of the funnels, customer management, and so on. Since day one, our profitability was around 90%. Expenses wise, we always try to stay very, very lean. And I hope we will stay lean in the future as well.
Cool. That's amazing. Let's move on to the next question, more the lifestyle side of things. Can you give me what the day in the life looks like for you, a Shopify app developer making millions of dollars per year? What does your typical day look like?
Yeah, so I get up whenever I get up. I don't set any alarms. I check my emails while still in bed. I scroll some Twitter like probably everyone else in the world. When I have my to-do list, I always try to differentiate like quick wins, something that I can do in like up to 30 minutes. And all of the other stuff is harder stuff that I focus on later on. I love the lifestyle. I love what I do, and I don't feel like working. I feel like I'm doing something I'm really passionate about, which really helps because I'm not counting time at all.
That's awesome. Last question that we always ask all founders on the Starter Story channel. What advice would you give to someone looking to start their own business and start their own thing online?
So I think that at start, 2 people are enough. You just have a designer who does all of the product stuff. You have a tech guy, and you're good to go because you will be doing all of the customer support yourself to know that what your clients are struggling with. And yeah, once you start getting more tickets and once you start growing and scaling your product, then you can start hiring customer support, and then you can start scaling your team. And yeah, another advice I could give is probably to hang around other people that are building, because community is really helping, because you get to know people, you can learn from their mistakes, and yeah, maybe you can even find a co-founder in those communities and so on.
That's it. Thank you, Erikas, for coming on the channel, sharing your business that makes millions, 90% profit margin. Is amazing. And I can't wait to see you hit 10 million and take it further. So thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Erikas is the perfect example about how a designer and a builder can turn a simple idea into thousands of dollars. But that came with knowing the right information. For him, it was about Shopify and finding the right problem to solve. Well, imagine there was a place that gave you this: problems to solve, blueprints for building, and the marketing strategies that turn simple ideas into million-dollar online businesses. That's what we have at Starter Story, a library of over 4,000 case studies and business idea breakdowns where you can access this, all data backed by real entrepreneurs. So if you're serious about building a profitable side project like Erikas, head to the link in the description and we will give you 52 micro SaaS ideas for free, just like Erikas, so you can get started on your journey. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.